Okay, what's up, everybody? Today I'm doing a movie review on The Devil Wears Prada. Two, 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 two. And one thing I first have to say, when I first heard this movie was coming out, okay, so this movie came out when I was about in middle school. Okay, so I literally was looking at this movie. My mother took me to this movie, and I remember thinking, oh my God, anybody can be a fashionista. Okay, anybody. Anne Hathaway made it. I can make it. That was the beginning of me actually liking fashion, me actually caring about brands, because I promise you, if it looked cute, it looked cute. But that was the time I realized it's another layer to fashion. Yes, we had A&TM, but they weren't very particular on fashion knowledge. This movie showed me there's so much more to fashion than just being a cute model and wearing the clothes. Okay. Hey. So the first thing I will say, the beginning of the movie was absolutely amazing. It gives the viewers exactly what they wanted. You hear what I said? It gave us what we wanted. But that was the first cue. I said, oh, it's the first 15 minutes. Some stuff finna shake up, stir up. Oh, and the shaking the table. Yes, so everything was so heartfelt in the beginning. Everybody was laughing. Everybody was smiling. My grin was, oh my God. Everything that you expected or you wanted to know about the follow-up of the people in the movie, they made sure to make it real feel good in those first 15 minutes, okay? But then, dun dun dun, saxophones playing. It went downhill quick. Okay. But they did an amazing job at this movie because that's exactly how you hook, line, and sinker. Okay, they had my eyes glued to the movie screen. And as a number 2 movie, you know, most of the time the number 2 movies, they're just not hitting the best. I will say they did so good at number 1, keeping the same themes, same plots, and same storylines from the first one, while also incorporating different layers of our life now. So the first thing that I want to discuss is Anne Hathaway's progression. Anne Hathaway's progression in the movie was so amazing. She came back around. They meet again. They have the same characters. And she basically got a personal life journey that she played out on the screen. And it's almost like she put herself back in that same mindset, and she had the same problems that she did when she first started working for Miss Presley. It was very entertaining. You see the character going through the notions of understanding that she's made a full loop, right? So some people say, you can't make a 360 because that's going right back to the same thing. That's exactly how life is. It's up and down, up and down. And even though you've crossed this portal and you've made everything correct, as you keep on going and try to elevate, there will be no new challenges, sometimes with the same people. Okay. The second part I loved so much about the movie that I feel like got all the viewers just glued to the screen. Miss Presley was super nice. Huh? What? Yeah, I had to do the ugly face on that one because she was extremely nice, extremely calm, and extremely pleasant in the first 15 minutes. And I was just so confused. Now, what I will say, that personality type for Miss Presley continued throughout the whole movie. Now, we know she has her one-liners and she can dig deep. She can dig deep with her words, but she kept her calm demeanor and she wasn't as spicy as she was the first movie. Now, one thing I will say about age progression in this movie, Anne Hathaway realized that she's older. Miss Presley realized that she's older as well. And what I saw from the women, someone like me who's 30 years old now, but saw that movie when I was a young woman, We're like Anne Hathaway. We're going through this, oh, I'm 30 now, things are changing, but I still remember how things used to be. That was the issue that Anne Hathaway was having. Now, Miss Presley, she was more like my mom. So most of our moms, baby boomer, not trying to get with the times, wanted everything to stay the same. The old days, the old days, the old days. Yes, but what this movie showed is that just because you're an old dog, that doesn't mean you can't learn new tricks. Now, the most amazing part I loved about this movie was the new assistant. When Anne met her new assistant, she said, oh, I used to be where you were. Yes, I wore Chanel 05. I did this. I did that. And the assistant, in normal culture, just like the old Emily was, she said, yeah, I'm the assistant. She had the perfect bougie attitude to add as a new character to this movie. She did 100%. She did a great job. She did a great job. I'm going to say she did a 100% great job, but she did a great job. Also, one of my favorite lines was from the new assistant, who's a new character on the screen. But she said, who sells vintage Chanel? Yeah, that's a spoiler alert. Anne Hathaway told the new assistant that she sold her vintage Chanel that she got from working there. Hilarious. The fashion girlies are going to be like, what? She did what? She did what? But I loved it because you saw that Anne Hathaway really did turn back to her old roots. She stopped caring about the fashion, but now here she was back in the fashion world. Nigel once again made sure she looked great on her second day. And it is a lot of progression that we see on the screen from the old characters. It digs into their personal lives. So Emily's back into it. We see about her love life. Anne Hathaway gets a new love interest. Nigel gets progression in the company. Okay, Miss Presley actually smiles. She was smiling, okay? And her and Anne actually became business partners. That's the spoilers. I won't give any more. I won't give any more. Okay? But one thing I do want to say is thank you so much to FTC Publications. I came in, I had my name badge. I said, I know that's right. They knew I was coming. Yes. Yes, they knew I was going to arrive. So we got our own lanyard, and they welcomed us when we came in. Not only that, we also got a black envelope. Inside, we had a gift card to get the food and drinks that we wanted. I opted out for alcohol because I like me a good mocktail, okay? But the mocktails they had was only strawberry lemonade and ginger beer lemonade. Sounds like I'll get me a little high seafood punch. Okay. They didn't even have high sea fruit punch. It was actually high sea pink lemonade. You know, the fruit punch would have went with the outfit, red tongue, red lips, Devil Wears Prada. The last thing I want to talk about with the movie. Now, this is the outfit I wore. It wasn't the original outfit I decided I wanted to wear, but you know what? Things change, and I still just had to go because this is a work event. I had to realize it wasn't about me. It's a work event. So show up. You still look great, Alexis. I had to get out of my head, okay? But I did wear the paperboy hat, the leather paperboy hat. I made sure to do my houndstooth. Now, look, y'all. My mama got on me. Because while I was all over here saying, stood hoof, I don't even know where I got that from. I was like, yeah, Mom, I should wear the stood hoof outfit. And she said, yo, what? Yo, what? I beg your finest pardon. I said, Mom, the stood hoof print. She said, girl, that's houndstooth. And when I argued with her, I said, well, stood hoof, houndstooth. What is it? Because it doesn't look like a houndstooth. She said, that's just the name of the print. I said, well, it could have been stood hoof. But that's neither here nor there. Okay? But I did have on my houndstooth, my leather Zara shirt, and my pleather pleather paperboy hat. And when I tell you, they had those things on in the movie. So Emily wore this paperboy hat to a funeral that was in the movie. Houndstooth, I don't know who particularly wore it, but it was a few people wearing it. You know, in The Office, the black and white and red is a theme that continues in the movie. And of course, the leather shirts. Everybody had one. Okay, everybody had one. Now, my first idea for my outfit was a white collar shirt mini dress. And I was going to wear a black corset over it with this same hat. Okay? But I actually didn't know where my corset was, and I was pressed for time. So it is what it is. So now when we go to the outfit check, I had the Gucci sunglasses with the Gucci purse and this outfit. Also a little Van Cleef necklace. I had pearls, but I should have wore my black Van Cleef necklace or my green one for a pop of color. But I tried to keep it as simple as possible while also still staying on theme. What do you guys think? I'm gonna stand up a little bit so you can see the whole fit. I don't have my shoes on, and I don't feel like putting them back on, but you guys can still see the material. Now the skirt was a little big, you see? Super big, got my legs looking like hot dogs running down the hallway, right? But, it still worked. It still worked. You see the material. You see it. You see it. You see it. Do a twirl. Can you more? Twirl, twirl, twirl. Right? It still worked. And I did me a little picture, you know what I'm saying, with my car, my friend's car. Excuse me. But all in all, I love the movie. Everybody felt like it was a feel-good movie. Everybody in there loved the movie, and I did too. Definitely check it out. See you guys later.